Fujica, a place for budding and aspiring entrepreneurs. It's also a place for people wanting to start their own home care agency, and it's for our business leaders. Today we've got a good one for you guys, and it is how do we deal with toxic people? How do you manage them? How do you deal with them? And sometimes, how do you live with them? If that's something of interest, stay tuned. Guys, I wanted to talk a little bit as to why I chose this topic in terms of dealing with toxic people. And the reason why I decided to do it was after having a conversation with someone, and it was actually a personal conversation. I have a friend who runs her business, and one of her employees is really just showing up really negative and really just dragging the whole team down. And then once this person got shifted to another area of the business, you almost immediately saw an improvement in morale for everyone else around her. And in that instance, it became a win-win, which is great. That person got a better job somewhere else, and then the rest of the team was able to take a collective exhale. But what about those times where there isn't movement and you have a toxic team member who's not getting the hint? The negativity is really impacting others, or more importantly, it's impacting you. It's something that you have to deal with, because a lot of times that person isn't even aware that they're putting off that negative energy and really weighing you or the team down. So I wanted to talk through, how do you address that? How do you deal with those things? And more importantly, how do you take your power back? You don't have to deal with this negativity. Rather than ignore the toxicity, it's important to deal with it heads on so that you can shift to a better place. Let's get started. The first tip I have for you is to take care of yourself, because when you're in good spirits, when you're eating right, when you're getting the appropriate amount of rest, you're drinking water, you're taking yourself, you are putting your best foot forward. It also equips you to better handle any negative, toxic energy that comes your way. So it's really important to prioritize yourself, take care of yourself first in order to ensure that you can handle that toxic energy. The second tip I have for you is to rise above. Now, we all have heard Michelle Obama say, when they go low, we go high. And that sounds really good, but sometimes it's not always hard to fulfill that. And so you really want to make sure that the more irrational or negative or toxic someone is being, that should be a clue to you that you might want to stay away a little bit. You don't want to get dragged in to that negative or irrational or toxic behavior. The focus here should be managing your own emotions and your own thought processes so that a person is not infringing on that. The last thing you want to do is sink to that person's level so that you are now exhibiting some of that toxic behavior yourself. The third tip I have for you is setting boundaries. Now, if you work with someone or this person works for you, it's hard to distance yourself away from them because you have that established relationship. But just because you have a relationship with that person doesn't mean you can't protect yourself. So setting boundaries will help you take back some of your power that you lose whenever you let that toxic person into your personal space. A good example of this is we all have someone who will always call you or text you and say, hey, do you have a minute? And you know what that minute means. It means that an hour later, you're going to be talking about a situation that afterwards you feel stressed, you feel anxious, your shoulders are now your shoulders are now hurting, you're walking away with a headache. We all have people like that in our lives. The next time that person asks you if you have a minute, your response should be not right now. Or if you decide to take that call, take control of how long you're willing to sit there and listen to that. You are in control of how much you let a person in. The fourth tip is a good one, guys, but it may require a little bit of practicing, which is focus on solutions. Now, we all know who that negative or toxic person tends to be in our life, and so you can plan this ahead of time. Listen to what that person has to say. You give them 10 or 15 minutes to kind of get it out, let them vent a little bit. But you should be prepared with your response. What are a couple of solutions, a couple of ways that you can problem solve for that person? Now, if the person is not receptive to that, then you have a big decision to make. How long are you going to allow that person to dump their negativity on you? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 15 minutes? Is it not at all? If that person is not receptive to the positivity that you're trying to provide or bring to the interaction, then rather than you dwelling on it or continuing to expose yourself to that negativity, then it's time to move on. The fifth tip that I have for you guys on toxicity is meditation. Now, I know not all of you meditate, and I know not all of you really know how to meditate. And so let's say, so if you're a little opposed or you're not too sure about meditation, here's a real quick exercise that you can try. Really go to a place where it can be quiet and where you can really just release. And that release looks like taking a few deep breaths and really releasing the toxic energy. I use myself as an example, and I think I've said this before. I have a morning routine where this is something that I do every morning. Now, usually at that time, I don't have any negative energy. I'm not trying to get rid of anything, but it's really about setting the tone for the day. And so really just taking deep breaths, thinking about how I'm going to conquer my day. What are my goals? The fact that I know that I'm equipped to deal with all of my goals for the day. So as you can see, when you feel adequate to take power over that day, it feels different than responding to negativity, letting that negativity soak in. So it's just on how you see it. Are you taking control of your day and setting that tone? It puts you back in a power situation in terms of releasing your power or relinquishing your power to negativity and toxicity. Okay guys, that's all I have. Hopefully you found, I know the content is a little bit different, but I hope you found value from it. I mean, we all have toxic friends, family members, co-workers, employees in our lives. And rather than them allowed to create chaos in your life, we really have to find a way to kind of stand up and take control of the situation so that we aren't being impacted by that negativity. So hopefully you found this valuable. Please make sure you like the video. Do not forget to subscribe. And guys, most importantly, stay blessed.